let's talk. Is this the golden age of crypto?
I mean, worldwide, yeah. Yeah, well, once they got their hands into it, and whoever they is, y'all think they is cool. But the adoption for sure, given the institutional love that they now have for it, I think is one of the some people will argue that the 2010 through 2018 era was the golden era, but I do think in terms of global adoption, this is definitely it. And if anything saves our economy, economists won't say it and banks won't say it, but crypto has helped keeping a lot of banks and institutions afloat. That's why the stablecoin thing was so important.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of losses that they're going to mask, and they're now hedging with crypto to get them out of their losses they've been sitting on for 3 and 4 years, and nobody said when Silicon Valley Bank went under, you think they was the only one who were negative? They're just the one they let die. And then all the venture money left out of Web3, and all the banks adjusted and heard what the internet was saying and then invested into crypto. I'm not telling you what I think. I was in the meet with me.
Well, they said that Trump, like 60% of his net worth now is tied to crypto. And so the majority of his net worth is tied to crypto. That's pretty telling.
That's telling.
That's telling.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, somebody said if they not until they put in 401k, yeah, that's definitely the next
It's
iteration.
What did they say? Say it again.
Not until it's put into 401ks.
Okay.
That's definitely the next iteration.
Right
That's
around
gonna
the corner.
that's gonna be major when Bitcoin is allowed to be put in 401k allocations. That's gonna be major. And let's get some questions too. If we can get some questions from chat. Chat, if y'all got some questions, put some questions in before we head out of here. Because we all live, so definitely would like to take a few questions if we can.
Yeah. I think it's gold. Yeah, I'm with you in terms of golden age.
Shout out to M-Block said we forgot Ian used to be going crazy.
Yeah, while we waiting. Yeah. When you talk about mass adoption, when we talk about large pullback, we haven't seen those things.
Well, let's talk about. Can we talk about United Healthcare? Somebody says, with United Healthcare reporting earnings tomorrow and the amount of revenue they generate, why do you think it still hasn't rebounded from its lows?
Okay.
You want to start?
Morally, United Healthcare is the closest thing I've seen to Bear Stearns in their space. Morally, they are uninvestable. The employees who work there, there's some amazing employees and amazing talent there. But the way that company has been ran the last 5 or 6 years, I don't even know how they're still listed publicly as a stock. And I won't even touch on the trial with that, but just the way the claims have been handled, the business has been handled, and the thing that is true of the stock market, you can hide your nefarious ways of doing business for a long time. You can't do that for 10 to 20 years and no one uncovers it. A short seller is going to uncover it. A competitive hedge fund is going to find out. I just think that it's one of the last companies that is evil in nature that is still have been allowed to thrive, and I think the world is just catching on. But the stock is uninvestable. Like, just to think, last year was at 630.73, and now it's 282. No,
I'm not going anywhere near it. I'm not. So this will tie in. Yeah, because somebody asked, what about an option play on VHT or Lilly? What about the healthcare sector? UH, I'm not touching at all.
At all.
Yeah, I don't care if their earnings was right now. Last week, you saw the report that the Department of Justice is investigating their medical care billing practices. You've obviously seen the whole healthcare space kind of take a hit. I'm not touching this. I wouldn't go near this if I'm you. If you're into puts, this would be something that might attract you. I'm not going at Lilly. I'm already in. I got a 700 call out to 2026, and so obviously we talked about Lilly on here all the time. Love Lilly. Another one in the healthcare space that I've talked about, and it's kind of been like one of these slow creepers, but they'll be reporting is CVS. I've been saying CVS for months now. So I would look or I would put it on my watch list for sure. They're going to be reporting this week as well, and so Lilly and CVS, obviously I have the Lily, but I would put that on my watch list for sure.
And even with Lilly, amazing management, amazing drug development. The price of the stock at 808, I know they don't want to split it, but the drug space is having an issue of having to compete against him and hers. And when inflation is so high, costs are so high for citizens, you're going to have to develop a low price carrier or Cuban, or somebody's going to beat you to it.
Yeah, you got to figure out who's going to
You
also
have to figure out
add a prescription number where it could be prescribed, because the $1,200 a month thing is just not sustainable
not
for a
gonna
lot of
work.
people. And then
even when Trump, out of all people, Trump put on True Social the other day, even in other countries, why is the same pill costing 7 and 8 times as much as it does here? When the president starts to make a case against an American company, it's not good. Like, okay, even for that CEO to pass, it's not his fucking company. He got killed in public.
Mhm.
Do you know how bad things have to be for them to let that happen? Go chat. How many American CEOs since 1900 have been killed publicly?
Somebody, Jason,
Coreweave.
I was just gonna say
Coreweave. They've asked about Coreweave.
people keep it. Know what I'll do? I'll put something together for Coreweave. Next week, I'll put out a full blown out breakdown of Coreweave, the business model, what we saw, what I'm seeing while we're waiting 6 months. It's pulled back nicely here. Just be patient with it. Just be patient. It has a use case for sure. It's partnered with NVIDIA. They own 20% of the company. They're renting out or leasing the GPUs. It's a model that makes sense. All right. But let's just be patient with it. I'll put it all together for you. I promise.
Yeah.
The InvestFest itinerary will be out next week. Somebody said with stocks hitting all-time highs, how do you still feel that 2027 crash is coming?
And when does Trump get out of office?
2028,
yeah,
I think. No,
he got
inaugurated 2025.
So
January
2029.
And historically, and during Republican seasons of elections or presidential runs, when do they start to have a tapering off effect based on his last presidency? And it's going to be a big fight between Elon, Peter Thiel, and that JD Vance camp who wants him to be next. Now, will NVIDIA crash? No.
Mm-hmm.
Will the collective market see a restructuring and reimagining? Yes, because now you got to make room for OpenAI.
That will be here.
For OpenAI to be a leader, a global equity leader, somebody's going to have to die. It happened. So in order for Microsoft to flourish and Apple to flourish, Intel and had to have a correction. And money had to flow out of Intel into AMD, into NVIDIA, and into Apple. That's why you see Meta, which is brilliant, to put these billions of dollars and say, we're not a social media company. We are a preeminent AI company.
They will be here. They will be here. NVIDIA will be here. Bitcoin will be here. Broadcom will be. They will be here.
Sure. If Apple doesn't make this move, it's going to be tough. That's why you started to see them little rounds on CNBC, and that board said, hey, you may need to go to church, like I said a year ago.
Yeah, something needs to happen.
App loving.
App loving solid.
That's part of Kramer's new what do you call it?
Park. It's a great name. I'm mad I didn't think of it. I wouldn't have led with that A, but App loving is a solid company. It's just not an A tier. To me, A tier is NVIDIA and the real, when it becomes public, Microsoft, Broadcom. They're not in that ilk. They are a B minus company.
Should we be afraid of the unintended consequences of Bitcoin?
Such as?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Unintended consequences. Yeah. What does that mean? I guess
the Bitcoin millionaires running around.
What's the what would you say the unintended consequences of Bitcoin is?
That is going to totally reimagine and restructure what mutual funds and index funds look like. If I'm a 60 or 55-year-old money manager, and it's one of the things I'm talking about in InvestFest, All the great companies give a promise that sounds like a scam from a founder that is incredibly trustworthy. If I told you 15 years ago I can get you 85% return in the market, you would have said I was Madoff Jr. Bitcoin does that. Nvidia
Yeah.
can do that. No one, it's for as much flack for the average retail investor, the 60-40 portfolio split is fucking dead. No one, it's a dead man walking. No one wants it. It's not a source of protection. It's not a hedge if you have $5 to $6 million, because the bond market continues to rotate down and no one will give a real answer as to why.
But then also another unintended consequence is that this is going. Okay, people are getting the amount of crypto that's getting stolen is alarming,
for sure.
and nobody's talking about that. As far as all the Bitcoin enthusiasts, like, you got to have some level of that has to be concerning.
Security.
It has to be concerning. Like, this is something that's pretty unprecedented as far as how much money is just going missing.
And how many people are being put in danger
for it. Right. We saw somebody held hostage over their ledger.
For sure.
For days.
And that's why sometimes when people get to showing off their account, I'm like, be very careful with that. Because some people in Philadelphia and Atlanta and Chicago that wait 9 months.
Sit on the information.
I wonder on you, bro.
Pause. When you said nah, pause.
Cowgirl. Give me the crypto keys, not your passwords. I know you got it. What?
Reverse cowgirl. That's crazy. How do you tell? I mean, when we were talking to the real Vlad at the Robinhood conference, we were talking about this 20 to 30 year old age range being the new advanced trader. I wonder, as they start taking careers and 401ks a part of like the job benefits, how do you tell them that you don't have Bitcoin in the portfolio? It's going to be tough. I would imagine they hear that and say, I don't need you. I'll do this myself.
Because if you can't at least double what they're able to do on their own,
right?
What's the benefit? And then the expense ratio to them is nil to be able to do it on their own. And the one thing you can't ignore that Bitcoin put on mainstream is the devaluation and destruction of the dollar. You don't have to agree with Michael Saylor. Cool. The value of the dollar dropping, we can feel it. I know we've talked to more people that are making 300, 400, 500,000, but bro, I feel broke. That's because of the destruction of the dollar.
That's a fact.
Can't argue with that. There are people that are making 1.2 and they were like, I can't say nothing because I'm the one in my family who made it. But the few people that I'm helping tuition, I got a dream car and I'm investing and I'm damn near at the same ratio that I was when I was making 80,000 working corporate. That's because of the death of the dollar.
That's a fact. The death of the dollar. The death of the dollar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think this has been an educational show.
For sure.
Per usual.
Hopefully you guys learned something.